Hi, everybody. Great to see you. Christy and Alonzo on a Friday at noon. Thanks for being with us. It's September. We have some questions already. We have folks saying hi. Got a bunch of folks waiting here. A lot to talk about, as always. But if you are here now and you want to see us here now, come on back tomorrow because Alonzo and I are meeting up for coffee in LA at the farmers market with one of our longtime friends who's here in town, Raina. And so since we're gonna see her anyway for coffee, we thought let's do a quick little live stream. So I'll have a link to that somewhere around here. I have not set that up yet, but if you want to come hang out with us, I think we might do it vertically.
Okay.
Have you? We have not. You and I together have not done a vertical live.
We have
stream
not.
Yet. So maybe that's tricky since there are two of us. I did a long vertical live stream on Oscar night, and that was really fun.
You are narrower than I am, so that might be an issue. I don't know.
I can sit in front of you. Hello. Like a Russian nesting doll situation.
I'll be behind your litheness.
Hello, like several arms. Anyway, hi everybody. Hi Jesse and Phil and Ed and Max and Sparky has the day off. So they're finally able to make it to a live. Good to see ya. Trevor and Christine and Jim and David and Jonathan. Hi, and hi to Mike in Salt Lake. So first things first, we have to talk about James Earl Jones.
Yes.
A huge loss. Alonzo, please tell us your thoughts on his life and career.
Well, I mean, by the way, wrote a terrific memoir. I highly recommend it. Just had an extraordinary life. Came from poverty, had a devastating childhood stutter, and a teacher who realized that when he was reading poetry, he didn't stutter. And that was the beginning of how he became an actor. A legend of the stage, made his screen debut in Dr. Strangelove. He's one of the lieutenant commanders on the bomber with Slim Pickens. But obviously, yes, Star Wars, Lion King. I mean, like a lot of stuff, but I mean, just a range of performances, comedic, dramatic. I was lucky enough to meet him in 1995 when we honored him at the USA Film Festival. This is how cool he was. So the USA Film Festival does a children's film festival every year called Kid Film. And we had a PSA that we were creating to air on like local TV stations. And we were like, would you do our narration? And he was like, oh yeah, absolutely. So he was at a TV interview that morning, and when they were done, he read the narration, and then he goes off to another TV station to do another interview, and he goes, you know what, I want to take another crack at that, and he read it again, and he was doing all this for free just for us, like one of the great voices on earth, and he was just like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I made him laugh in the Q&A, which is something I will carry with me to the grave. So yeah, he was amazing, and I just think such a classy, talented, amazing actor.
Yeah, that's a lovely story and just so versatile because I think for people who only know him as the This Is CNN guy or like the voice of Darth Vader, don't know the richness of all of his stage work, like playing Othello many times and playing Lear, like has this great Shakespearean theater background.
And August Wilson.
I love Fences, for a long time. I love the story that he had a stutter. It's always amazing to me when I hear people like Bill Walton, or Joe Biden, people who are so accomplished orators who have these like singular big personalities, and they had a stutter that they overcame. I found that always so incredibly inspiring.
For sure. And, I think was, obviously coming out in a moment that was very fascinating and volatile, in American culture, so like he was, I think The Man, he's maybe the first Black actor to play the President of the United States in a movie. He did The Great White Hope on stage and did the film of that. So like, coming out of this era where like, the civil rights movement is happening and like you've got blaxploitation in the 70s, which he's not really a part of, although he is in Uptown Saturday Night. He's in one of those like Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier comedies. But yeah, also like, doing Shakespeare on stage, doing, August Wilson doing all this amazing stuff. I mean, like super versatile, had a couple of acclaimed TV shows that didn't last, Paris and I forget what the other one was. So yeah, just an extraordinary career.
And he did soap opera work too.
Really?
Which is so hard. He did it all.
Yeah. You got to learn a lot of lines real fast.
Right. Jonathan points out Mufasa. Yes.
Yes. Lion King. Absolutely.
That was important too. I want to say hi to Brennan real fast, saying, this is my first time being able to watch live. Love your channel. Found many new movies I would have completely missed if it wasn't for your reviews. Thank you for
Awesome.
saying that.
Thank
That
you.
is a huge reason why we do this. So I'm
sure.
pleased to hear that we've been helpful. Christine says, how is Nick liking high school? Shockingly well. He has not missed 0 period French one time. I'm very proud.
All right.
He's not a morning person. Hey, David Jernigan. David says, have you previously mentioned that David Lynch announced he has emphysema and is homebound but isn't retiring? I don't think I knew any of that.
Oh, I don't think I'd heard that either. But I could see him making that work.
Yeah, that's very sad though. All in the Game asks, hey, are y'all reviewing Rebel Ridge from Jeremy Saulnier? We've gotten a lot of requests for it. I would like to get to it. Next week is very crazy. Next week is so busy that we're actually having to record it a couple of different days.
Yeah.
And then Alonzo's gone.
And we still haven't even gotten to the Long Napoleon yet. So it's on the list. It's under consideration. I've been hearing good things about Rebel Ridge, but we've been swamped right now.
Yeah, and it's on Netflix, so we could do it pretty easily. And then Ed Looney, thank you so much for your kind contribution. Asks also, any chance you'll catch up on Oddity when it goes to Shudder this month? Love from Jersey City as always.
I don't know.
We'll put it on the list.
I've never heard of it. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I have not seen it yet. I put it on the list. And Barbara says, greetings to my favorite reviewers traveling from Vancouver to Victoria, BC. Both beautiful cities. Yes, they are.
Yes.
So hello to you, my fellow French Canadian person.
Safe travels.
Hello. Yes. And Lewis says about James Earl Jones, loved him in Coming to America.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The King of Zamunda.
And Field of Dreams, of course.
Of course. Very important. Yes. So good to see you. Seth says, I always miss you guys live. So happy I could make it. You guys are my favorite. I did my final paper in film school at the University of Oklahoma about the two of you. Wow. That's some pressure.
Oh, my. Okay.
I hope you graduated.
I hope you didn't fail.
I hope we were helpful. Let me know if we were helpful. Yikes. That's good to know. Oh, Ed says The Oddity is a super creepy, buzzy Irish horror movie. Okay. Speaking of that, earlier today, I did a review with Christian Harloff of Speak No Evil. So it's already out there on the channel. Keep an eye out for that. And then Invisible
I can also tell you real quick, don't bother with The Killer's Game. It sucks.
Oh, that screened the same night as Speak No Evil. It was bad?
Yeah, I bought a ticket last night. Ooh. Yeah, I love Dave Bautista, but it's a big nothing, this movie.
Yikes. And it reunites him with Palm Clementoff. Yes. Dalen, hello. Thank you very much for your kind donation. Dalen says, one of my favorite Jones stories is from the Reading Rainbow documentary. He wanted to give an A+ performance and asked to redo his narration. So it was the best version it could be.
Well, I sense a trend here.
Yeah, that's really sweet. I love hearing that good people are good. So that is that. Alonzo, you were in Venice, and the room next door won Venice.
Yes, congratulations! I'm very excited to see it whenever that's going to be because it screened the day I left. But yeah, the Almodovar won the Golden Lion this year. Best Actress went to Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl, which I heartily endorse. I think she gives an extraordinary performance in that movie, and I hope we're talking about it come awards season. And Brady Corbett got director for The Brutalist, which I did not get a chance to see, but I certainly want to.
It's very long, right?
I believe so, yes. It's over 3 hours. There's an intermission. And Vermilio that won the Silver Lion got picked up by a U.S. distributor, but I forget who at the moment.
Okay. Cool. So Beetlejuice opened with $110 million.
Sorry, Sideshow and Janus acquired Vermilio. Vermilio is the name of the movie.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say there's not really a whole lot of big stuff. There's a lot of movies coming out this week. You know, there's Speak No Evil, there's Killer's Game, My Old Ass, which we will have a review of later on today. But there's not really anything big. So I believe that Beetlejuice will probably be number one again. Did any of you guys see that? Did you enjoy it? Let us know. Speaking of movies that are coming out, so Megalopolis is coming out in a couple of weeks. We are still trying to pin down screenings. We know that there is for sure an IMAX thing on that Monday, the 23rd, before it opens, which we talked about last week a little bit. Tickets are available for that. we are both going to do that at least individually.
I bought my ticket just in case, because I'm traveling that week.
Yes. So Francis Ford Coppola, though, is finally responding to that whole fiasco where in the first trailer they had fake critic quotes, like real critics, but attributing things to them that they did not say about his previous films, trying to establish that like nobody gets Coppola when these films first come out, like nobody got Apocalypse Now, like it's going to be okay.
Nobody got The Godfather, not true.
Right. So so he addressed that and said like, I didn't know this was going to happen. It was a mistake. Lionsgate has severed ties with whoever the marketing consultant was who came up with that. But it feels like when you've got a filmmaker of that stature, right, with a movie that has been in the works for literally decades, like how does that get through?
Well, especially because it's not like he's just a bystander waiting to see what happens. Like, he's very invested. Like, he paid for this movie out of his own pocket. His Lionsgate deal, it's not like they have reimbursed him. Like, they're kicking in some for like, the actual nuts and bolts of distribution and, P&A and all that stuff. But I mean, this is his baby. So you'd think he'd be in the meetings, or somebody in his team would be in the meeting. So yeah, that all seems strange. Meanwhile, he is suing Variety for running the story about the extra who talked about, feeling like it was an unsafe work environment. And did you read the lawsuit? Because it opens with this thing about how like there are very few creative geniuses and people are jealous of them. It's a doozy. Seriously, go find an article about this, because there's a whole paragraph about how he's a genius and how people are jealous, and that's why they're telling lies about him. And it's like, oh my God, this is in the public record, you guys. Calm down, Frankie Foco.
I'm sorry if it's noisy. I don't know if you guys can hear. The gardeners are here and there are leaf blowers, but hopefully they'll be gone. Hopefully you can't. I can hear it. Hopefully you guys cannot hear it. Yes, but we will review Megalopolis and we will have real quotes. We are real critics with real quotes, and we will have them for you very soon. I'm thinking the Tuesday, the 24th, I'm hoping to get a review out that day, because I know there's a lot of interest in it. D. Roy says, Christy, I think the substance will be big. Thanks for your out of the theater words from an early screening. Yes, I'm very excited, Alonzo, for you to see the substance.
Seeing it tonight.
Very good. Super. Thank you for saying that we are not noisy here, Dalen. Very good. Okay. So much going on. The Emmys are this Sunday. Do you care?
I mean, look, obviously a lot of the shows that we watched and liked are probably going to get a lot of awards. I think The Bear and Shogun are going to do really well, probably Only Murders, which is nice. But like, I think, do people remember who won Emmys the way they remember like the Oscars? Or are we just in our own little movie bubble where that carries more weight than it should? I mean, good for all the people involved, for the artists that we like being acclaimed, and hopefully it will lead to more exciting projects down the road. But yeah, I don't really set my clock by the Emmys per se.
Yeah, I may dip in and out of the Emmys. I'm not sure. I was talking to our good friend Glenn Whipp the other day, who is the awards guy at the LA Times, and he was saying that he expected that Shogun would do very well, and it should, because it's just so exquisitely well made. But like, what about Ripley? Like, I think there's Ripley in a lot of the same categories.
I haven't even really looked at the categories, because I never remember what the cutoff date is. So like I remember when, like, after The Bear season 2 was when they were giving the Bear awards for season 1. So like I don't have a clear sense of the calendar, because it's not like the Oscars where it's January to December. So I don't even know what else is up this year. If Ripley is qualifying now, then yeah, it would be nice to see it in contention, but I have no idea.
Yeah, Pia Doc says, feels weird for the Emmys to happen after we had a ceremony only a few months ago. Okay, cool. I'm glad I'm not hallucinating. That's good to know.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Because of the strike. Because of the
strikes, yes.
Yes. Right. So Seth says Jamie Lee Curtis already won her Emmy for The Bear. Anyway, again, what season is what? Who knows?
Well, but also the technical Emmys have already happened. The Shmemmys, where the stuff that didn't qualify for prime time. So yeah, she may have won it in the last couple of weeks. My head is spinning. I don't even know.
Yeah. Our friend David Leman says, "Hey, Christy and Alonzo, did you guys get a chance to see the Merchant Ivory documentary? I really loved it and thought it showed a very great look at the actors they championed and their partnership. I did not. Did you?"
I have not yet. I really want to. I want to see that, and I want to see the Powell and Pressburger documentary, which I also haven't had a chance to see. There's just too much media, but I
Which
will.
Scorsese's involved with, right?
Yes, he like executive produced and maybe narrates or something. Because
Yes.
Thelma Schoonmaker was married to Michael Powell at the end of his life,
Oh, did not know that.
and their work is a big influence on Scorsese. Yada, yada, yada. So, and in fact,
interesting.
the reason there was kind of a resurgence of Powell later in life, that his movies got seen again and remastered and stuff, was because of Scorsese. So, yeah, both of those are on the list. As award season kicks in and we start getting the screeners sent to us or links sent to us, those are on the list of movies I definitely want to catch up with.
This is so effing loud. I'm so sorry. I hope you can hear. I know you
I'm
guys are
hearing
all
the
saying
tiniest
in the
bit.
comments.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my God. It's just hard for me to hear because I'm like they're literally right there. Yes. And Matt says showed up a little late today. Happy Friday. Hello. Good to see you. Yash says, did you guys see Rebel Ridge? No, but we were thinking about it. Very good.
Yes.
We will do all of that. There's a lot of stuff going on. One thing I am very excited about is this Cameron Crowe documentary about Tom Petty. It's this lost 1983 documentary. It's Cameron Crowe's first film, like his directorial debut. He did this kind of rough-hewn behind the scenes Tom Petty movie called Heartbreakers Beach Party. And so I guess it's been restored and it's never been in theaters that I know of. And it's going to play on October 17th and the 20th. One of those days would have been Tom Petty's birthday. We have a link in the description to where you can get tickets, but that sounds super fun. I would totally go see that.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And this is like a year after Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So like Crowe is at the very beginning of his film career, but obviously by that point he'd already worked for Rolling Stone and stuff. So I'm sure he had the connections in the music world to be like, hey, I want to film your thing. But then I guess it sat in a closet for 40 years. I don't know the backstory of this movie, but yeah, I'm curious about seeing it too.
Yeah, part of the fun of the trailer is that they have like negative blurbs about it, kind of the opposite of what Coppola's movie did.
Because they're real ones, yeah.
They're real negative blurbs. So I am definitely going to go see that. I don't know if there's any way for us to talk about it, but I just think it'd be really cool to check it out. So that is called Heartbreakers Beach Party. There is a link to where you can get tickets near you down below. Cool. There was a big New York Times story about Tim Ballard. He is the subject of the movie Sound of Freedom, which I don't think you have seen still, Alonzo, right?
No.
I have not, and I don't plan to. No. But it's this big story about how he is being accused by many women of like grooming them and at times assaulting them. And it's all under the guise of, we've got to save the children. We've got to go undercover and we've got to pretend that we are an actual couple in order to do that, in order to infiltrate these sex trafficking rings.
We've got to make it look convincing.
Right. And we've got to do it in private too, because they have eyes everywhere and they have cameras. And so like in a cab or like in a hotel room, we still have to pretend that we are intimate, and it's pretty gross. And so that's out there.
Yeah, I mean, there is an expression that goes around, which is that, every accusation is a confession. And very often I think the people who moralize the loudest in public are actually trying to deflect attention at the things that they're doing themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's disturbing. So that is out there. So just be warned, it's kind of graphic, but it's many women, and they're coming out by name and they're photographed, and they have a very similar pattern of events that occurred to them. Like one is a makeup artist, and he approaches them and says like, I'm doing this work and it's so important and I think you'd be great at it. And, you get so sucked into the middle of it that you don't realize, oh, this is weird.
Right.
Right. Ugh. And so that is happening. Linkin Park reunited. I am not a big fan of Linkin Park's music, but it's a big deal here in Los Angeles because they are an LA band, and Chester Bennington tragically committed suicide several years back. Here in the town where I live, actually, is where that happened. And so there's a big announcement this past week that they are reuniting. They have a new album. They played the Forum here in LA this past week, a huge show. But the lead singer, Emily Armstrong, that they brought in to fill that lead singer spot. There's a great deal of controversy about that as far as like, should this even be happening? Should they be reuniting? Is that an affront to his memory? The woman who is now the lead singer came out in support of Danny Masterson during his trial, as many Scientologists did.
Right.
And then said afterward, like, oh, I didn't realize what my words would be used for, right? Like several people who were his colleagues.
That was a whole thing with blanking on name, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher had done the same thing. Yeah. I haven't really been following this, and I don't know that much about Linkin Park's history. I mean, it is always tricky with bands where one member like dies or leaves or whatever, and the other ones are, you go to a state fair and you're like, how many people of the original band playing under this name is really there? But I guess ultimately it's going to be the fans will decide if they think this is still Linkin Park or not.
It's tricky. I think it's that the band's music is so emotional for a lot of people. It's very dark in a lot of ways. And I think people connect to that deeply. And so they have stronger feelings about this music than they might for lighter genres. So that is inherently part of what's going on here. Chester Bennington's older son, he has younger kids who like go to school in the schools here, but like older kid from previous marriage came out on Instagram and was very forcefully opposed to this and to any reincarnation of Linkin Park, but with this singer in particular. And anyway, so Dalen points out.
Did Bennington, was he like a founder of the band, or was it the other people? Or okay.
Yeah, he was the lead singer. He's like one of the main people, one of the main forces behind it. And and he died several years ago. As Dalen points out, that this lead singer Emily put out a post saying that afterwards she doesn't support Danny Masterson, like she didn't realize what was going on. It's all very tricky. Gage asked, did either of you watch the VMAs? No, I did not. I've just seen that one Taylor Swift clip where she's talking about how fun it was to have Travis Kelce on the set of her video shoot.
The VMAs were sort of my annual, oh Christ, I'm old moment where I just didn't know who anybody was. And so now I'm like, I don't even need to watch them because I'm fully aware that I'm old. And so I don't have to be reminded once a year by MTV.
Taylor Swift wrote and directed the Fortnite video shot by Rodrigo Prieto.
Nice. No, I know it was a big night for her. I know Chappelle Rowan was there. I know a few of the people, but for the most part, I've not watched it in ages.
Yes, indeed. So I did not either. Sorry. Here's a cool thing that was announced this past week, that the Criterion Closet is going on the road.
Now, but do you get to keep stuff? Because I think that's part of the draw of the Criterion Closet is that people like get to take those Blu-rays home with them. It's a cool idea, and I think it is such an online thing. Like everybody is going to go take a little Instagram video and be like, oh, look, my Potemkin, or whatever it is they pick up out of there, to sort of show off their bona fides.
Yeah, I think that it just seems like a fun idea, to bring art to the people in this very low-tech way.
Yeah, look, really cool. I love a bookmobile, so why not a DVD mobile?
And you love physical media.
I do, and the Criterion Channel specifically. So this is all good. Would you and I do one in a heartbeat? So
oh my gosh! Let's find out when it's coming to LA.
If we're anywhere near that truck, look out.
Yeah, well, we'll have to keep an eye on this. I know it's beginning at Lincoln Center when the New York Film Festival happens later this fall. So that's where they're kicking it off.
And then working its way west.
Yeah, but if we get like dates, we will definitely post it. We'll put it on the community page or whatever, because I think that's just such a cool thing to be able to do. And if it comes to LA, yes, I will brave the 405 at rush hour to come and do that with you. That sounds super fun. As Ursa Minor Jim puts it in all caps, give me that Fellini box set. Yes, that sounds super fun. And then Ryan Seacrest took over Wheel of Fortune this week. Did you watch?
No, but I mean, like, of course he did, because he has to have all the jobs, when we were younger, like, game shows had different hosts and radio stations had different hosts, and it's all Ryan Seacrest now. Like, he just does all of them, and it's not that he's good or bad at it. It's just like, I'm sure other people would have liked that gig too. Ryan, how many do you need? You know,
I mean, it's a very safe and obvious choice. He could host Wheel of Fortune in his sleep.
Yes. Does he sleep is the question, you know?
Yeah. How many? So he still hosts Idol.
Yeah. He still hosts his radio morning thing.
Is he still Kelly Ripa's co-host?
Is he still what?
Kelly Ripa's co-host?
I think so. Yeah. Now? I think he's still, oh, maybe it's the husband now. He was for a while. I mean, I don't keep up with what he's up to, but it just seems like he's doing and hosting everything. So it's like, all right,
it's
dude.
too much. When does he have time to get his tips frosted?
Right.
Right. That's time consuming. You got to sit in the chair.
Yes.
I guess you can read your scripts while that's happening.
This doesn't just happen.
No. Ursa Minor Jim says, "Where's our Gene Rayburn?" And along those lines, like, why don't game show hosts hold mics? Like, he had this thin, long microphone when he hosted Match Game, and
that was the best.
No one else had that.
And you know, and the thing is, like, a lot of them were Broadway guys. Gene Rayburn was a Broadway guy. You know, Charles Nelson Riley won a Tony for the original How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Like, so many celebrities that I grew up watching on TV, just thinking of them as game show panelists, it was like, oh, wait, you were in Bye Bye Birdie, you know.
Wait, didn't someone just die? Wasn't there like a game show host who just died who had like the serious Broadway background? We just talked about him here.
Yes. And, Peter Marshall.
Peter Marshall.
Yes.
Hollywood Squares.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Anyway, so I did not watch, but from what I read, he did not actually say the name Pat Sajak. He just made some vague reference to "I have big shoes to fill."
All right. I've never been a wheel guy anyway. I'm more of a Jeopardy person.
I think you can find enough room in your heart for both. You can embrace the and.
You're right. You're right.
Anyway, well, this has been fun. We're happy to see you guys. Thanks for spending time with us on a Friday. Yeah. Keep an eye out later on today for our review of My Old Ass, which we both loved. In case you came in a little bit late, we're going to do a little quickie live stream tomorrow morning. That is Saturday, September 14th at 9 a.m. Pacific. We're meeting up at the farmer's market for coffee, and we thought we would hang out and say hi. So we got to figure out our Wi-Fi situation, but but we will. And so we look forward to seeing you there if you want to wake up and have some coffee with us too. Yeah. Subscribe to all the things. Thanks for being here. Subscribe to my newsletter, ChristyLemire.com. It comes out tomorrow. And we always have updates on Alonzo's whereabouts out in the world. So we'll keep an eye out on our community page for that too.
Bye.
Good to see you guys. I got to hit stop at some point.
Yes,
Hold on.
you do.
Let me hit stop. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.